Friday someday. Might,
I tell you, that you wear the vice chairmanship well.
well, I guess you gotta earn that title.
Yeah,
It's not about money. It's how many times you get to be on TV.
that's right. Well, good morning, sir. We're transitioning now out of summer, moving into
Real
fall,
quick, yeah.
and real quick, and we're already. It will be October next week. I'll just go ahead and tell you. So maybe it's not as quick as we transition into fall, but we're looking at October quick next week. And I know that y'all have been trying to finish several county projects, and where we at on the projects with County Road 6 and the Lookout Dam project, and then we're still got paving to do.
Yeah, we do, and those are issues that I mentioned last week. They're all important to everyone in the county, but those people who live in those areas especially. As far as the Lookout Lake project, and today will be not a setback, but some of the work they're doing because of the rain. We're looking to get some heavy rain. I actually went out on Monday and looked to see where the progress had gotten, and they. And anybody, Evan, can go by and see. I mean, this is not, it's right on a road you can go by if you're interested in or curious about what we're talking about if you live somewhere else in the county and it's not a thing that you drive by. But the bottom had been poured to the spillway, I call it. Box culvert is what we're building in there, and it's probably, I'd say, 20 foot wide. It's a very big spillway. And then in the middle of it will be a wall poured that will come up, and of course the top of the box culvert then will sit on all that. They're forming the sides, maybe even as we speak, if they can do it, are working in the rain. Once they get them formed, then they come out with the concrete and pour them, and as soon as they can tear those forms down and do the rest. So we're ahead of schedule, and probably, if weather permits, by this time next week, or maybe at least by next Friday, I think all the spillway will be formed and probably poured. That's when the process of filling back in around it and putting the dam back together and all that. The good thing with this rain is we will not, I don't think, and of course I'm not an engineer, don't claim to be one, but we won't be pumping this rain back out. So the rain that we're expecting to get today, maybe as much as from what I saw last night, 1.5 to 2 inches, that's going to help begin to fill that back in. So that is ongoing. It was a project, as you know, that we didn't have a choice to do. It's been in the making 12 or 13 years, and it's just now coming to fruition. So we will get it done, and it's going to be, the lake is going to be very little lower as far as the water. Top of the water is going to be very small amount lower than it was before this whole thing began. So, but it is ongoing.
All right, and then County Road 6, or White Oak Gap Road, I guess is the official name. Most folks know it around Shortcut or County Road 6, and that's off 136 as it goes into the Davis community that turns into 301 North. That road continues to slip off the side, and it's really getting, I know I don't want to use the word dangerous, but it's getting treacherous to go up through there depending on what type of vehicle you have.
Yeah, that's right. It could be, getting to the place that it was slide enough to have to be closed, and of course that would make people from the Davis and in the toward New Home area have to go around and come off at Magby Gap around in there, but it wouldn't completely shut people off. But I can tell you that the company that will do the drilling, and it'll be done just much like what we did above it. There'll be piles put in way down in the earth, and then the wall will be built on earth to hold it back. He is now getting together his numbers on doing that. So we're hoping within the next couple of weeks to begin that project. Again, we're coming in, as you mentioned, it's October. The weather will change, not a whole lot, I guess, but there will be more rain and more cold weather. But I think we'll be able to start that probably within the next week or two. As far as the paving, when I said I went out to the Lookout Lake Dam project the other day, it was kind of good to go out and see in a way because we're able to help ourselves so much. But most of Billy's, or many of Billy's road department employees were down in there helping to build those forms, which is, what we say. We say we can do some in-kind services toward that total amount to help defray the cost of that whole thing. So they were down there. So that's meaning that paving is not going on right now, but we're hoping to start that probably within the next week or so, and be able to use our LMIG money and get back to paving roads. There's roads on that list. I do want to say, a road being on that list, and you name the road, and there is a list of them obviously, does not mean that that whole road may be paved. A lot of people get the idea, if you put a road on that, let's say just pull a road out of the hat, Cloverdale Road is on that list. LMIG money is not a bottomless pit of money that we pull from. It is money that comes back to the counties in a grant, local maintenance grants. And it may mean that there will be a 20-foot section here or there of a road replaced if it's got gator backed on it or slipping or sliding, whatever. But that will start pretty soon. The last mowing will be taking place, or is taking place perhaps, is mowing the right-of-ways and the whole right-of-way cut back. So a lot of things getting ready for the winter and the fall. So we'll be looking to start that, and that LMIG money, of course, gets a match from the county, a 30% match from the county to do that. So you'll be seeing some paving in different places, but don't think that because a lot of people get that idea and then they think the shenanigans are going on because that road was on a list to be paved and they only patched it. And sometimes it's patching because it is a maintenance grant and not a total resurfacing grant.
Right. The county does a lot of its own paving, where in years past
we do,
yes. You had paving companies would get the contract, and therefore you're able to pave more road because you're doing it yourself instead of having to go with a company. Almost
pretty much 2 miles to one, I guess, being able to do it yourself. And finally, I know we're going to run out of time, but I do want to mention, Tractor Supply is coming. I think probably most people know that now, but it's my understanding, and I was not at the bid letting, that now a demolition company has been, the bid has gone out to a demolition company and a local company. So the old Dyer building, as we know it, the old Dyer Chevrolet building, if there's anyone out there hearing this for maybe the first time, wondering where they're talking about, right on the interstate there in front of the middle school, kind of, and so that will be beginning to be taken down, demolished in the next day. Well, I can't put a date on it because I'm not sure, but there is a tenant in there now, and he is diligently working to get out. But that is as a private thing. I do want to say this, Evan, that just so people know, and they wonder, well, when did this start? Talks for these kind of things go on for months before you get to the point of that company. In this case, Tractor Supply, wanting people to know what's even going on, because there's so many things, it may not happen if they come out or the county comes out or somebody says in the first meeting, guess what, we're going to get, a Sears and Roebuck store.
Well, let me go ahead and add to that. Tractor Supply itself has not yet put out their press release about coming to Trenton.
No, they haven't, but it is happening. And
I mean, so, and also I think, maybe the commissioners talked about the talks in this dates back almost a year ago.
Yes, they do.
So I mean, it's just not something that just has been happening.
Right.
But there again, if not all, most, if not all companies, whether they be retail or industrial, they do not want that information out to the general public until they're ready to release.
No, and IDAs and that kind. Of course, our IDA is working with them and with can work with everybody, even though it's a private. It's a deal between the private citizen and the people who own that property and the company that's trying to buy that property to build on. So there's no government land per se involved in it, even though it's right on the interstate, and it will butt up to federal land with the interstate and county land and city land. But that is going to be coming, and I don't know. I think maybe I would say maybe in the spring. I don't know. I can't add any more to it than that, but things are happening. But I did want to mention that these things take a long time, and sometimes you have to sign confidentiality agreements that you won't talk about it before a certain
which
time.
By the way, in this case, some of the county and city officials had to do that very thing.
Yes. It was going on. Well, as you said, almost a year these talks are going on with them. So that is a positive for the county. It's a very great place. We have a lot of farmers, and that's what they specialize in, is a lot of farm, not just feeds and things, but fencing, and you name it, you can pretty well pick it up at a Tractor Supply. So I'm looking forward to them being a part of our community, and hope they do well.
Well, Commissioner, we thank you very much. I know you want to, before you leave, you must talk about the JV game.
There is a junior varsity game scheduled, a home game here today, and I cannot speak to the fact of whether or not it will be played, because as we've talked about, there's a lot of rain expected to come in. I looked at the map, and it looks like we may get a pretty good deluge if it don't go north of us. We really need the rain, but the game tomorrow night should be fine in Trine, according to the weather reports that I'm seeing. The rain should go out tonight and be out of our area certainly by game time tomorrow evening. So come and support the Wolverines. Had a great game at Cedar Bluff last week, 144-13, I think. So things are really looking good. Support our boys.
How's the Trine team? I haven't heard. Have you?
I think they may have lost 2 and won 1. They may be a game ahead of us. I'm not sure, but I know they have some losses as well. We're 1-1 going into tomorrow night's game.
All right. Well, of course, we will air that game live here on News Radio 101.3 and 1420 AM KWN. You'll be able to hear the Dade County and Trine game coming up tomorrow night, and we'll have the play-by-play. A lot of folks still not traveling, especially to away games. And Dade County is yet to have a home game as far as varsity is
right,
concerned.
we will have one. Of course, we're going to Trine tomorrow night. Next week, we will be at home on October the 2nd. We will have our first home game. We only have 4 this year because of the COVID thing. We'd have 10 games, but we only have 4 because we lost North Sand Mountain, which would have been a home game, picked up Cedar Bluff, which we played last week, but we had to go there.
Absolutely. Well, Commissioner, if you want to tell folks how they can get in touch with you personally and also the county.
Okay, my phone number is 423-503-0618. The county number is a 706 number if you call the office directly, 657-4625. And I know Ted gives his number out to anybody and everybody all over the world, 423-667-8999.
All right, sounds good. And he's Dade County Vice Chair of the Dade County Commissioner, Robert Goff. We thank you very much for coming in and being a part of KWN today.
Thank you, Evan.
All right. Well, you are